passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across. Take a look inside, the mirrors glow, young hearts seeking truth to know. Mystery within their eyes appears, shining brighter than their deepest fears. Echoes of the past, their steps to trace. In this journey they find their grace. Through the trials and the tears they weep, their souls awaken from the deep. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the power grow. Soul reflection, youth, let your spirit show. Together they stand, hand in hand. United they break through the sand. The stars above their dreams align. In their spirit true love does shine. Beneath the shadow strength is born. In every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the strength is born. In every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the of the past, their steps to trace. In this journey they find their grace. Through the trials and the tears they weep, their souls awaken from the deep. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the power grow. Soul reflection, youth, let your spirit show. Together they stand, hand in hand. United they break through the sand. The stars above their dreams align. In their spirit true love does shine. Beneath the shadow strength is born. In every soul a brand new morn. Light of passion ignites the way, guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Soul Reflection, Unveiling the Spirit Beyond the Youth. I'm Tracy, your host for tonight's show. Before I reveal today's topic of discussion, I'd like to say a big thank you to Prophet Isaac for giving the youth the opportunity to discuss the importance of different topics. I also like to thank the members of Kingdom Keys Chapel for their love and support behind this talk show. I'd also like to say a big thank you to our producer, Brother K, who remains working whilst being overseas. Lastly, I'd like to highlight our sponsors. SpeedyLink door-to-door shipping from Ghana to UK into my Papa Fie and Connie Special Restaurant. We would like to take a short break. See you after the break.
Me ba London ha me bibie koyi nanso madua ne nsam kwade enkoyi sebeya menya Ghana duane papa bie di no eno ne me problem
minia Saudi oya ba fresh dimachi na me kochero Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant na benya Ghana duane papa ne nyina bie di na ba san kwan ya bra won fifie
hende boga yentem fa me wo so sisi a na de enya fufuo ni aponche kakra medi
wonni how cry Kone special restaurant e wa Ghana duane bi te se fufuo ni adren kwan fufuo ni nkrakra fufuo ni aben kwan na sen kate kwan pima mpesi na bayam pesi ni kontomre nkran kro papa bi wache jollof rice ne fried rice banku ni nkruma bayar ya chine chofi bayar ya chine tilapia a confirm kebab ne ne keka hunua Mr. Ghana aduane bi a wonim bia ubenya bi e wo Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant fieda memneda na kwasi da bia Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant ebe ma tuoza afi papa bi ani mutuo special niema Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant e dan so kra ne se wo pesti na san kwa bia kwese o fridge ba na wodi ni kakra Kone bra no be sort out cry asemode ne se fieda ne memneda bia ye pon 2:30 am na memneda live band change ejiram ye try na se agiani ankasa hwehwe Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant ewo 85 to 87 Woodrange Road Forest Gate London E70EP Fred Bekwe ewo telephone number so +44 75 78 611 211 ana +44 73 09 427 2127
Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant anokwa mama sankwan
Are you ready to take your brand, church, or business to the next level? We specialize in stunning graphic and website design tailored to your vision, helping you stand out and connect with your audience. From live stream setups on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, to seamless OBS, vMix, and Wirecast integrations, we've got you covered. Need media management for your church or business? We offer unlimited custom flyers and videos monthly package to keep your message fresh and engaging. Whether it's creating content, managing your media, or building your digital presence, we're your one-stop solution. Our services include graphic design, flyers, banners, business cards, church graphics, invitations, etc. Website design, e-commerce website, display website, church media management with monthly package options. Contact us today on 074-294-33363. Website www.asoramedia.com. Email info@asoramedia.com. Let's make your vision a reality. E-Media, where creativity meets excellence. Together, let's inspire, connect, and grow.
Hello and welcome back to Soul Reflection. Today's topic will be breaking free from negative self-image and insecurities part 2. I'd like to introduce our panelists, Rachel, SD and Emmanuel. I hope you're all doing fine.
Well,
Yeah,
focus
thank you.
on you.
I'm good, thank you. So our subtopic will be on surgeries. So the first question will be, what motivates people to undergo cosmetic procedures, and is this a societal pressure or is it personal choice?
Um, I think that sometimes it's a personal choice, but it takes certain societal norms to make it accepted. So maybe someone who see themselves and compare themselves to other people, or feel as though they wish they looked a different way or a certain way, and then they go and get the procedure done, the surgical procedure done. And because so many other people are doing it, it becomes like a, people would say it's a trend, but it's become like a norm. It's kind of made a part of life. So people see it as, oh, since everyone is doing it when they once looked like they were lacking in a certain area, then it's like normal. But I don't think it's like, okay, I guess from where we are, we don't feel the pressure, but in certain areas or certain environments or certain cities, it's so much of a norm that people feel pressured to do it. So it's a come see come sa situation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I agree with what Rachel said because most people look at celebrities a lot. For example, when the celebrities went to do their face, lip fillers, BBLs, all of those kind of cosmetic things, that's what people started to do as well. But as soon as like they saw the side effects and everything, then celebrities started to get rid of their fillers, get rid of the BBLs, and they jumped onto Ozempic. So now I feel like Ozempic is now the new norm, that it's nice to be skinny. It's not nice to be curvy anymore. So I feel like society has, the influences here and there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I support both Rachel and ST based on what they said. That's the actual fact because people look up to others and looking up to people, definitely they go on to be like them. So as ST said, people look at the celebrities, their facelift, buttocks, augmentation of the breast and everything. People go out there to look like them. But as time goes on, as she said, the side effects brings them back to where they want to be before. Now they realize that the particular kind of stature or form they were in was perfect. They withdraw back to that particular state. So I think it's because of society and one way or the other because of competition in the community or the society we live in now. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I also like to add that I agree on like Rachel's point. How is like a in between, because you may not like something about yourself, so you may have like body dissatisfaction, or you may also be under the influence of media. So as all of you said, you may see celebrities who are undergoing surgeries, and you may think that it's good to follow up with that, but the outcomes may not be the best. So yeah. Our second question will be, how can we differentiate between self-care and self-rejection when altering our bodies?
I think that when it comes to self care probably is when you take good care of yourself. So when you take good care of your skin, you get enough rest, you make sure you look rejuvenated and not extremely stressed and things like that. Self rejection is when you do not read or um, do enough research to see if whatever you think maybe self care is good enough for you. So, since we're on surgical enhancements, if someone does not do enough research into whatever they want to enhance, and they just go and travel to some country, get whatever procedure is being done without checking with their blood type, their genotype, um, the consequences, the side effects, the without going into depth with the research, speaking to whoever is in charge of, you know, making sure you're surgically enhanced, that becomes self rejection because you've just gone in for something you saw other people doing or something that you kind of realized was a trend, and you're going to go somewhere for it to be cheap because you think you get the same results as someone else when you don't even know how your body will react to that. So that becomes self rejection because you haven't gone in depth enough. You haven't checked with yourself, with your doctor, with the specialist, with nobody. You've just gone in and got in something that your body may not actually accept, and that can lead to death, bleeding out, diseases, infection, and things like that. So self care is when you take good care of yourself, and then self rejection is when you just don't do enough research. You don't know yourself enough, and you're not aware enough of the situation to get your like when you're altering your body. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I agree with what Rachel said, because the way I see self-care is eating right, looking after your body to your best ability, feeling good inside, and I feel like rejection is when you try to find fault in yourself. So it could be, it's not just self image, but it could be your education. It could be, you know what I mean? So you're always doubting yourself. That's where I feel like that's how mentally you dissociate yourself from yourself. You know what I mean? So you're always picking on yourself constantly. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So based on what ST and Richard said, self-care is when you go about taking good care of yourself. Now, the body we have here has its own functionality. The same thing applies to our phones and everything that we use. So the system has been designed in a way that in the morning you wake up and work, in the evening you have to go back to sleep mode. Now, the reason why most people are growing at a faster rate or aging at a faster rate is because we work too hard and there's less sleep for our body. So the body cannot sustain that kind particular of energy. So we start shrinking. And then we think, oh, I'm growing too old. It's because you are overworking the body. And the same thing applies to machines. If you overwork or you overuse your phone, the phone even tells you, now I'm going on a sleep mode because I'm overused and I'm overheating. So the phone stops working. The same thing applies to the body. So I think we have to eat properly and we have to know the kind of stuff that goes into our body. Because whatever that goes into your body determines the outcome of the human being. The same thing applies to um um mm, is it self-care and what as a self-rejection is when a person thinks that I'm not enough, low self-esteem, and then thinks about what other people thinks about him or her. Now, whatever that you have around you, being it your body, being it your nose, your eye, everything is perfect on you. Because, for example, if you take a bottle of water, there are two types of bottle of water. Both have different kind of lid or cap on it. And then thinking that you can replace the other one with the another one, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So if it is not working for you, that means I'm not supposed to be in this particular lane. But people think, oh, since my sister is having this kind of thing and I'm not having it, um, nature is not dealing with me fairly. But that is how it's supposed to be because most people with large buttocks or breast sometimes comes out at the old age of their life and says that we are suffering from this thing. And this is something that you desired for, but later on you realize that God has helped me because of what I have. So I think we have to value ourselves, not to devalue ourselves, and have good self motivation for ourselves, not listening to people, but rather listening to what our inner man tells us, speaks to us day in, day out. Thank you.
Thank you. Um, I think I agree with all of your points, and I'll just like summarize it. So, self care will be seen as the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's well being and happiness, in particular during times of stress. Whereas self rejection is the act of rejecting yourself to avoid others rejecting you. So
Mm,
you'll rather disvalue yourself in order. So if other people would tell you that you have no value, like you already know that, so you won't be disheartened by their opinion. Um, yeah, I think we'll go to the third question. Are beauty standards shaped by culture, social media, or personal preference?
Um, so I think that culture, when it comes to culture, I think that it has to do with like your immediate surrounding. So wherever you grew up in, or wherever you find yourself in, there are certain places that I've seen or I've heard of that having surgical enhancements is normal. So there's a place in Korea that I heard that it was normal. There's a place in Russia that I heard everyone looks like a model. So things like that and all this I saw on social media. So even when you're in a certain culture, certain society, there are certain things or certain looks that may be normal. But social media brings it out for everyone to see in the open, where it's reachable to everyone on the ends of the earth. And so you do see people express their personal preferences, you do see certain cultural differences, but the means of getting access to all that is through social media. So social media does play a very huge role because whatever you're looking for, you will find on social media because whatever you're looking for exists on the face of this earth. So everyone is like maybe in their own bubble, but they're expressing it through social media. So I would say that it's shaped through social media because no matter what it is, if someone is deciding to dress like a clown every day, like a goth every day, and it may not be in your society, it may not be in your culture, you would find it on social media. And it would look like it's okay for you to also express your beauty standards in that same way.
yeah.
So I would say that social media becomes the means by which culture and personal preferences um, do influence beauty standards because it's easily accessible through social media.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I agree with what Rachel said because, for example, when I went to Ghana, um everyone said that, oh, it's normal for girls to have like hair on their face, on their legs, on their arms, but because I was born in the UK, so I wasn't used to having hair on my legs, and they didn't have like razor blade where I was, so I used to be feeling like very insecure. But people will say, oh, it means that you're beautiful, like the more hair you have, the more beautiful you are, basically. That's what I was told. So in a way, um it's like when you look on social media, you see girls with sometimes their armpit is hairy and stuff. You When you look at the comments, people be making fun of them, but at the same time, in their country, that could be something which the people like. You know what I mean? So that's how I see social media can influence a few things. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, coming to this place, I've learned a lot and I've seen a lot of people. So you being in the UK, you see different kind of people. You see the Asians, you see the Indians, you see the Africans, and then we have a lot of Africans here. And then you get to know different culture. Now, when you meet an Asian, it's a different kind of culture. The way they dress, the way they keep their face, everything is different. When you see a black lady, you see something different on a lady. So it's basically based on the particular kind of culture they are in, and sometimes people also learn from them. Now, sometimes when I see Asian ladies, I'll be like, how do these people make their face looks like whitish and all those stuffs? Because they are women, they know how to put on their makeups and everything. When you see a black lady, you see something different altogether. you ask yourself, how are these people doing this? Because of where they are coming from and the culture they are coming from. So culture has been the main foundation for every particular kind of group in this world. But because of social media, we get into contact to see whatever that every culture is doing at a particular moment. So today you see an Asian on social media, you see something that is very nice, then people start copying it. And then when you go, you see something that the black woman is doing, someone also copies it. So they blend it and it becomes something that people choose as a personal reference. Now I want to learn, I want to explore. And I think that is what is motivating people for them to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'll add to that. Culture does play like a huge role in shaping beauty standards, but I also think that social media also plays a part in that because many people are influenced by social media. But like for example, if you normally see slim women and you're not like in that structure, you may feel the need to like change your structure in order to meet that expectation. So yeah, but I think social media and culture go hand in hand when shaping beauty standards. The next question will be: what are the emotional or psychological risks of chasing physical perfection?
Hello.
Yeah.
I feel like the psychological risk is that it could turn into a mental disorder where every time like you look at yourself, you mentally straight away you'll start to see like your face is changing. Sometimes I used to be like looking at myself in the mirror. Yeah, I'll be like, my nose is a bit like wonky. Like when I talk, my mouth goes up and one goes down. So, it starts to play on your mental health. And, you know, you start to think that, oh, is that how people see me? You know what I mean? So that's what I think personally, yeah.
Thank you. I agree with Esty. I think that you would always not feel like it's enough. No matter what you change, no matter what you fix, you'd always find yourself lacking in a certain way. And you would, there's some people that have said they've gotten addicted to surgical enhancements because after they first started, there was always a need to do more. It was never enough. And so you'd keep chasing physical perfection, but you'd get to a point where you would actually get addicted and you'd be doing way too much than you should. People would see you physically and think, oh, there was no need in the first place, or you shouldn't have done that. But in your mind, you would still keep finding places where you're lacking. Thank you.
Yeah, so based on what they said, yeah, it's true. Now, when you start this surgeries and everything, beginning you feel comfortable with it. Now, as time goes on, you want to do more. But you realized when you started growing, you kept yourself to a certain stage, and human beings change. Now, growing your face change. Even sometimes you go to bed, you wake up, and your face has changed. Everything has changed. Or someone will be like, "Today you are looking different. What is going on?" And that is how human beings look like. So that is why we are on this, we are discussing this because human beings change regularly, day in, day out. It's like there is something going on in our system which determines the figure you get at a particular moment. And so sometimes if you go to bed, you come up with a very shiny face, you'll be like, today I've changed. And people will see it and realize, I also saw it, but I was thinking maybe it was my mirror that was deceiving me. But here lies the case, your body is depicting something good in you. So the moment you go in for this surgery, what happens is they are not telling us that they are not telling most of them the actual fact behind it. Because the moment you put in those chemicals or those stuffs, you always have to go back again, and this is what your body was doing for you earlier on. Your body was trying to tell you, yes, this time when you give me this thing, I'm also going to give you this. But these people will just, okay, it is good one way or the other. But the more you go in for it, the more you have to pay. You have to pay more to increase your beauty because chemicals and everything, they have their expiry dates. So day in, day out, after a month or two, you have to go back again And that is when sometimes it becomes a burden if you don't have the financial capability anymore. It becomes a problem for you psychologically. How am I going to do it? So you go to an extent of doing something you don't want to do, and that affects you, in which will be like as Rachel said, someone will say you shouldn't have done this thing, but already you've already done it, so you have to continue with it. If you want to come back, it is going to take a very long time for you to come back to the normal human being as you were before, but you can take it and then come back again. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'll add that the risk could be like depression, as all of you pointed out. There's like a constant like you have to go in day out, like change it, and there's a constant pressure to look good, which can lead to people feeling worthless and hopeless. And I think anxiety and stress, which may lead to high levels of anxiety because they're always striving for perfection. And I think procrastination and perfection paralysis, because some people may feel like they can't achieve certain opportunities because of the way they look. So they'll feel afraid of not meeting high standards, and this may lead to missed chances, more stress, or feeling unable to move forward. So our next question will be: can surgeries truly address insecurity, or do they only mask deeper struggles?
Um, I think that it can only address the insecurity for a second. Um, so if you do have like an insecurity with something, no matter what you want, like no matter how you imagine it to go down, you might not get the perfection you want in the surgery because something may go wrong. At the end of the day, God is the creator. And I don't think or I don't believe man can enhance you as well as God will or can. So, no matter what it is, I've seen so many videos or documentaries where people wanted to look a certain way. It could have been like by a tiny centimeter or something, and they would still find fault in it. So, maybe the surgery can truly address the insecurity for a second. Maybe if someone hmm, has like a dent in their forehead and they wished for it to like flatten out, um for the fact that they've done the surgery and paid enough money for it to be done, they'll feel like, oh, this insecurity is about to be over and done with. But then at the end of the day, the fillers or whatever they put in may start shifting. As you know, the body changes all the time. And then they start to feel, um, as Tracy said, much more self aware. They become depressed because things didn't go the way they should have, or they didn't get the lasting appearance they wished for. So they become so self aware, they become depressed, they become frustrated, they become anxious, and then they still continue to lose self worth for that reason. So it starts to not only mask deeper struggles, but they start to dig deeper into worse struggles than before. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, because I agree with what Rachel's saying regarding the fillers because when you look on social media nowadays, um some people are mentioning how they put fillers in their nose and now it's spreading. So now they are becoming insecure and they don't like the results. And some people they have gone to the doctors and the doctors like there's nothing I can do about it. Like you can try and dissolve it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to go because your body is taking it to different places, you know what I mean, and it's not everything that you put in your body that you can get rid of. Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
Hmm. One way or the other, what I can say is the insecurity sometimes happens because there's an accident. And then sometimes when there's an accident, you have to go in for the surgery. And then one way or the other, sometimes people have the full body figure, but they think they have to go in for it. Now, looking at somebody, you don't know what happened to the person's beauty may have come throughout an accident he or she encountered. So we had one football goalkeeper who had an accident. First, I saw him, I was like, this guy is very handsome. And then someone told me, no, he was very handsome before, but because he disfigured his face, a player stepped on his face, and then everything was messed up. And then he went in for surgery, and you could see that he's still handsome now, but before he was very, very handsome. So it's because of what? But for me, when I saw him at first sight, I said, this guy is very handsome. And then because he's having that handsomeness, before he was more handsome than that, but because of something, an accident, he had to go in for surgery. So one may not know what happened that brought about the second beauty, and the person will go in for it. And the person think, oh, I'm not enough because the one that I'm following is very beautiful or handsome. Before I used to follow one of these celebrities, Davido, and then the way he takes care of his hair, I used to do all those stuff. But later when I realized I have to keep what I have now, because even if this outfit that I'm doing, if it is nice on me or not, is my own personal preference. I'm not taking it off. Sometimes I go for a clean shave, sometimes I just leave it. So life, how you keep yourself, it all depends on you, and your personal preference is for your own self, not for anybody. At the end of the day, I'm not going to share my pain with anybody. Whatever that goes on within me, I bear it. And so we have to know whatever that we do, and we have to know, as I keep on saying, if you try to embark on a journey, you have to think about the good and the bad side of it. If the bad side of it is going to be something that is going to last forever and ever, then you have to just come back again, withdraw and stay as you were before. Thank you.
I think some surgeries can reduce insecurities, but there's a risk that if the surgery goes, like if the surgery, like the outcome is good or bad, and that may lead to more insecurities. And I also think that half and half, it may also suggest that there's like deeper insecurities, because like if the insecurities are deep to the point that you have to go and like alter it, maybe that's like a it's like a sign that maybe that's affecting you. So that may
Yeah. Okay.
like mask deeper
Okay.
insecurities.
Okay. So maybe what I can say is the best option, maybe for us to go in now, is to adorn ourselves. People adorn themselves a lot. Most of the women you see a very, very nice, beautiful woman, a very good damsel working out there. And some of them, they've adorned themselves with a lot of pearls and all those stuff. Sometimes I think it is better that way than to go in and destroy the body itself. I
Would
know
it wait,
someone may
wait,
say,
sorry. Are you trying to say like maybe they should put fake pads and things like that in their body, like
no,
in
no,
their
no, no.
clothes
I'm
under their
saying people
clothing?
adorn themselves with the makeups, and you see light makeups out there, and they look very beautiful. I'm talking about the women. Most of the times, most of the women, those are the people that I always see doing those stuffs. And you see someone is very slim, but because of her body figure and the face is very, very good looking, a very excellent face, they just adorn the face for it to for them to know that they also have something that is good for them, not to go in for this BBL or something else. So some of them adorn themselves to cover up their insecurities, and I think that is also helping them one way or the other.
Okay. As well, I wanted to make like a distinction between the kind of surgical enhancements that people get for their insecurities, or the type that they get from maybe an accident or a health risk or a health situation or a disease. So I think now that we're in the social media era, by God's grace, we see everything. We see the ins and outs of certain things, and we start to understand certain things. People come out with their stories that we don't always get in documentaries or stuff like that. And you see them tell you stories about the reason behind them getting certain surgical enhancements and diseases they're battling with and things like that. And it's really good to see because It's either you accept the person in their raw state with whatever shortcoming they've ended up having because of a disease, or you just they kind of have to um, try and look normal to appeal to other people. I saw a story about a man whose face got bitten off, and without his enhancements, you see a dent in his face that children are not used to, people are not used to. You take at least three glances at him when you see him. Um, Walking on the streets, you would be scared. But when you see these things on social media, it starts to help you have a bit more sympathy or empathy, and you're able to know that, oh, people are actually really going through certain struggles. So it makes it easier for you to not judge or not make people feel too self aware, because making them feel that way makes them go in for life threatening surgical enhancements. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to make that distinction because social media is helping us one way or the other to kind of accept however someone looks wherever they are, depending on their situation, because you may never know. It's either you accept them that way or they go in for something crazy that would may not suit their face, may not. The man had to do about 15 surgeries because some things were always going wrong, some things always had to change. And he had to end up deciding, okay, I don't want to live with a nose. I can't live with a nose because it's not going to work for me. I'm going to die from that. So, although we're talking about um, BBLs, yes, people are insecure, and some people when you're insecure, when it comes to the matters of the mind, is a war, is a battlefield, and so you may assume you're the only one going through that situation, and some people end up taking their lives and things like that. So it's not like we're here to kind of judge, but we're here to kind of maybe discuss on those things and pick on those things just to further understand. But I think the ins and outs of what we're saying is everyone is very beautiful. We'll take it
Yeah.
as it is
Definitely.
because at the end of the day, we don't necessarily have a beauty standard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Thank
all.
Thank you. Because I really agree with like what you're saying, because in a way I resonate with what you're saying about like beauty standards and stuff. But sometimes there's some surgeries that the doctors even recommend. For example, giving birth to my daughter. I didn't want a C-section, but they said that I had to get it. Like I didn't have a choice. And it's like the results of the C-section left me a big scar on my stomach. You know what I mean? And it made me very insecure because I felt like, oh, now I can't even wear my crop top that I used to wear. You know what I mean? Like I can't wear something like that is a bit tight because you will see the line and everything. So, and it just makes you feel like, oh, like, but before my body used to be slim, I used to have slim belly, but because of this, I'm having hangover. You know what I mean? And so when people see you on social media, like taking pictures and stuff, like they'll probably judge you like, oh, why is her belly like hanging like that? But you don't know what they have gone through. You know, life risking surgery. That surgery is not easy because you know that they make you sign a waiver that if I died, you cannot sue. You know what I mean? So things like that, like people go through it in and day of their life. So it's not for us to be like, oh, what's wrong with this person? Their face is a bit wonky, or you know what I mean? But with social media, there's always gonna be someone who will have something to say. So it's up to us to decide that okay, I'm not gonna let them, you know, bring down my spirit because I know who I am and I know what I've gone through. Yeah, thank you.
you.
That's good. So I think it's all about accepting who you are, believing in yourself, because everybody is wonderfully made by the Creator. And every pot has its own stature, the length, height, and everything. That doesn't mean you are not perfect. Everybody is perfect one way or the other. And we have to understand the way you came, that is how you are. If there is no accident, you are perfect, you are perfectly made and you're wonderfully made. So you have to believe in yourself and understand this is who I am, this is who he is, this is who she is, and this is what I'm made of. And you bring out what you have. That's all. Thank you.
I think we'll go to the next question, and our next subtopic will be on height and body security. So, how does society reinforce the idea that height or body shape determines confidence or success?
Okay, so I feel like the way society can make sorry, can you repeat the questions?
How does society reinforce the idea that height or body shape determines confidence or success?
Okay, so for example, for men, I don't know, but I'm just suggesting. For men, the taller the man, the more, attractive and the more, like successful he would be. And the shorter the man, people see him as less worthy, if that makes sense. Like that's how society, because most of the time when people are to say, oh, I want to get married, they always say, oh, I want a 6 foot guy to marry, I want a tall man, you know what I mean? So that's where sometimes society can be iffy about it. um Also, for ladies, if you're too tall, that could be an issue as well, because you'll be deemed as manly. So that's how I see it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I grew up as a tall person when I was younger, and um, it was found intimidating by people because what happens when you're tall is you have a like a better overview, like you kind of crown over people, and so when you look at them, you look down on them, and people that are like in the same like environment as you sometimes seemed intimidated by that. But then as I grew up and then people started growing taller than me, especially the males, it used to annoy me because I was like, I used to look down on you and now I have to look up at you. And it used to irritate me. So I used to tell them to bend down and then we speak face to face, like, because I was I was a tomboy. So it's like, let's speak man to man, although I'm not a man. But yeah, I think that as SD said, being taller makes you more like in your head, you're more attractive and you walk around with the confidence of being able to see over everybody's head. Um, if you seem to be tall and you have a voice to go with it, you have much more charisma than a person that is short and is squeaking at people, like talking with a tiny voice. But yeah, I think that what it is that social media has actually made us see people from different backgrounds, different cultures, in different situations, and has made a space for every single person. Yes, you'd always have people that would troll and disrespect and sit behind their devices and disrespect and laugh and mock, but social media has made it okay for people to be called short kings and I don't know, but there's such a thing as short kings, which makes short men like feel a little more like they have a space in the world. So yeah, maybe society would laugh and mock them, but we kind of have to learn to live with all these things. So yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, so what I can say is being it shorter or being it a tall person doesn't determine your success in life. Success comes out from what you bring out. So I always say the future is what you become or who you become in the future. Whatever that you have is what has been given to you. The fact I'm being given a short bottle doesn't mean that I cannot go forward. I can go forward. The fact that you are being given a tall bottle doesn't mean that you can go forward. But it depends on how you carry yourself in the midst of people. So it all depends on how you represent yourself. You present yourself to people, the charisma in you. Everybody has a feature that has been given to him or her to stand in the authority for the person to stand in wherever that he or she goes. So being it a short woman, a short man, a tall, a long, something that is on you is something that has been given to you for a purpose and for a reason. And so you see, sometimes a shorter man will call onto a taller man to help him, assist him because he or she wants somebody to pick something from the shelf. The same thing implies to you who is tall. When you are tall, sometimes you cannot bend down. You also call the shorter man to do something for you. So one way or the other, we are working hand in hand. And if you marry a tall woman, she is one way or the other going to help you do certain things that you cannot do. The same thing implies to everybody. So I think the height and everything is not going to determine your success, because if you are to make a census or make go out there and make up, let's say, calculation, as for the people who are rich, you can see that everybody is rich in this world, both short men and the tall men. But it depends on the preference you want as a woman or a man. But I think everybody good and perfect in a way that he or she has been made. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I think I agree with your point that like height or body does not determine success, but I think in like social media wise, and because we're very on like social media, like our society is around social media. I think there's like a certain body structure that is like displayed. For example, if you want to be a model, models are normally tall, they're slim, or maybe like celebrities, they may have, most of them may be like curvy. So if you want to be like a model, for example, and you're not like in their expectations, that may like determine your confidence or your success, because you may feel like, oh, I won't be able to, you know, fulfill this role because I'm not tall or I'm not slim. So I think society does reinforce the idea of height and body with confidence and success, but I don't think it is like fully. I think it determines. I mean, I think it depends on like what success you're like willing to go for. In that.
Sure.
Yeah. On that point as well, I think that because I'm a yeah, I was born before the 2000s, and I think that in that time we didn't have as much social media, and so certain things like what you were saying was extremely strict. Like women had to be very tiny, like a size extra small, and had to be very tall. And then men had to have a certain look and they had to be a certain race. But now in this social media era, we see so many different people. We have disabled models. We have people that have certain certain looks that some people would say are not normal or are not special or are not desirable. And you see those people being used as models just to, kind of make it possible that like we're all equals, make it acceptable and known that like we're all human beings and we have to be treated equal and things like that, which I'm very grateful for to see now, because I don't think I saw much when I was born before 2000s. But at that time, it was extremely strict. You wouldn't have as many black models as you see now. You wouldn't see albino models. You wouldn't see people without legs modeling. You wouldn't see people in wheelchairs modeling. So I think there are certain old societal um, pressures that, by
Sure.
God's grace, have been broken. So these days, you see smaller people and certain things. But I think because of certain traditions that were used in the past, or certain things that we did in the past, some have been carried down. So some are in the back of people's heads. Some are still with the older
Hmm.
generations. There are people that grew up in certain cultures that unfortunately has become a part of them. So there are certain words that I would say because of the time I was born in, but it's very offensive now. So yeah, I'm just grateful to God that social media has cut down all those pressures and all those determinations, because these days we think about the output of the person rather than the outlook of the person.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone like to add on to the question, or if not, I think we'll go on a short commercial break.
Are you ready to take your brand, church, or business to the next level? We specialize in stunning graphic and website design tailored to your vision, helping you stand out and connect with your audience. From live stream setups on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, to seamless OBS, vMix, and Wirecast integrations, we've got you covered. Need media management for your church or business? We offer unlimited custom flyers and videos monthly package to keep your message fresh and engaging. Whether it's creating content, managing your media, or building your digital presence, we're your one-stop solution. Our services include graphic design, flyers, banners, business cards, church graphics, invitations, etc. Website design, e-commerce website, display website, church media management with monthly package options. Contact us today on 074-294-33363. Website www.asoramedia.com. Email info@asoramedia.com. Let's make your vision a reality. E-Media, where creativity meets excellence. Together, let's inspire, connect, and grow.
In a world where connections build bridges, unity creates strength. A year to unlock the power of togetherness. Genesis 13 verse 5. And Lot also, who went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. Where there is unity, there is abundance. Where there is connection, there is a blessing. This year, we embrace the call to connect, to align with God's purpose, to uplift one another, to collect the promises He has prepared. 2025 theme of the year. Our year to connect, to collect. Genesis 13 verse 5 reminds us that when we walk together in faith, we walk into God's abundance. This is the year to connect with faith, to connect with purpose, to connect with each other and collect God's harvest. Join us in 2025 as we connect to collect. Genesis 13 verse 5. Walk in unity, live in abundance. Together, let's make 2025 a year of divine connections. Together, we will thrive. Kingdom Keys Chapel, 2025, our year to connect, to collect.
Guiding hearts to a brighter day. Let your voice be heard across the sky. Lift it up, don't let it fly by. In this moment, feel the
Hello and welcome back. Our next question will be, what are the ways to challenge and break free from feelings of inadequacy tied to physical traits we can't control?
I think it's best not to care, because the insecurity over something you can't control stems from what you think others would think, or others think when they see you. So it's best not to care, because someone once told me, if there's a problem and you can't do anything about it, then why worry? If there's a problem and you can do something about it, then why worry? So if it's something you can't do anything about, all you have to do is care about what you make of your life instead of what others will think of you. If there are certain places that you're not able to, reach, maybe because of your height, so your height is being a hindrance, you find tools and measures that can help you with whatever you're trying to, achieve. If you're trying to maybe go somewhere, like maybe reach something, you get a chair, stand on it, and pick it up. That's what you have to do. You have to take the measures that would actually help you with what you can and can't do. If you can do it with your own strength, do it. If you can't do it, find something to, buttress you, support you to make the best of your life. So my advice is just not care.
Okay. So my advice is that you should love yourself, because the more you love yourself, you wouldn't care about what people think about you. And at the end of the day, you were born alone and you'll die alone. So you have to take care of yourself and not listen to others' opinions. My dad used to say, listen to the good bit and forget about the bad bit. So you take the good, you leave the bad. So if it's good advice, why not? If it's bad advice, just say okay and forget about it. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, that's good. It's good. I think it is good. You have to take the good part and then let go of the bad ones that comes in, because people are trying to wire us in a different way. But one way or the other, I'm who I am and you are who you are. And I don't have to downplay you or the think that you are not enough to be in this category or in this group. We are all the same. No matter what comes your way, being it good or bad, you have to take the good one and think of how you can grow yourself, love yourself, and then enjoy the life that has been given to you. Thank you.
Yeah. And
thank you.
also, I feel like, sometimes when people do make comments about you, sometimes they want to be you. You know what I mean? Some
Sure.
people are like that. They will intentionally say, oh, your nose is like this, your face is like this, your hair is like this. But really and truly, they wish that they could be like you. They wish that they had that kind of structure. But because of their own insecurities, they are reflecting onto you so that you will feel like you're not good enough. But really and truly, you are good enough. So yeah, thank you.
I think I'll even add on to what you said, like how some people may like bully you for your appearance. So maybe a way to break free from feelings is to surround yourself with people who like help you to embrace your like your body. So for example, if you feel like, or you've told like one of your friends that, oh, I feel like my face doesn't look good today, they might like encourage you and say that, oh, but you look good, like. So I feel like surrounding yourself with people who like help you to embrace yourself will help to break free from feelings of inadequacy. And I think also building a growth mindset, so like to understand that we're always growing, so like your structure, your body structure won't stay the same forever. It'll keep on growing, and it may like it'll become more beautiful. So I feel like building a growth mindset will help as well. The next question
Yeah,
will be,
that's
how
good.
can people embrace their unique features as part of their identity?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You can go.
Yeah, for that bit is that it's unique. When it's unique, it means that there's no one else that has it, in like maybe in your surrounding, and you have to learn to love it. First of all, accept it, because no one else has it. You're the only one that has it, so you stand out. You look different from maybe 10 people, and that's fine. You have to accept it and learn to love it. Learn to cherish it and grow in that look. Make sure it can thrive as much as possible, because that is your mark. That makes you different from the rest. So that's what I had to say.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was saying that what Rachel said, she literally hit on the bone, like everything that I wanted to say. But I saw, like, for example, your gap, you know what I mean? We all have different sizes of gaps, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, like especially like in the olden days, I would say in the 90s, basically it was more like in this country, it was more like majority white people, right? And it was like going to school was a bit like some type of way because you don't really see a lot of black children around, depending on the area that you lived in. Because the more you live up, the more the whiter Caucasians are up there. And the more you live down, then you see more black people. So I was more on the upside, on the north side. So I was living among like a lot of white people, and they had the standard where the paler you are, the more accepted you are. So if you are black and you are very dark, people used to make fun of you, and they used to call you monkey and all sorts of things. And people used to be like, mind the gap anytime I used to smile. So that used to be my little insecurity, but that was something that made me unique because no one really had that gap. It was just me, you know what I mean? So yeah, so it's just embracing yourself and not letting people influence like yourself. Because I could, like, I used to beg my mom to take me to the dentist so that I can get braces to close it. But my mom used to be like, no, it's nice. Even when I went to the dentist, they were like, no, it's nice. It's your own little thing. Like, it's not even that big for you to be closing it and stuff. So, yeah, just embrace yourself and love yourself. That's all. Like, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I can say something unique about you, something extraordinary that someone may not have, but people may cherish what you have. Now, I see a lot of people in this world, and then sometimes I look at some of the ladies, they have a very nice forehead. Some of them have flat one, big ones. And then you could see that what the bigger forehead can do, the flat one cannot do. So it's something unique about you. The gap you have also brings out a certain kind of aura out of you, energy, because when you smile, people see something different. We are having this closed gaps and everything, but you have something that is unique about you. And I've realized most people, because they have it, they have the gap, they think they are not special. It's something that is like a deformity around them or about them, so they have to go and close it. But when you grow with it, you realize that this thing was perfect. Closing it one way or the other may shape your jaw, everything for you to be a different person. But if it was there, you're going to be a unique person among people. So sometimes some certain things or certain features uniquely has been given to you for you to be different from people, but we don't understand. So sometimes you want to change it. But I think, as Rachel and SD says, yeah, we have to make sure that whatever that we have, we are content with it, and then we move on in life. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I also add to your point about how we should be content with our unique features. And I think we should recognize that our unique features are beautiful because they're unique. So, yeah.
Sure.
The next question will be: have you ever felt judged or less than because of your appearance, and how did you handle it?
Um, I would say that so I have a an insecurity that I caused myself, but unfortunately because it's a naturally occurring feature to most, it seems like it's like, natural and normal. And so as you guys were saying, oh, surround yourself with people that would say it's okay and whatnot. I have a lot of those people telling me. But another thing about insecurities is that yeah, it plays on your mind. And so, and me knowing I was the cause of the situation, it makes it even worse because
Mhm.
it it shouldn't have been as bad as I think it is. But because I know what I did and I know how God first created me and I know the mistakes I have made, um yeah, it sounds like when they're talking, I just hear meh, 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 like because they're just so yeah. I think yeah, I've been in a phase of like battling with an insecurity, but another thing is because it's a naturally occurring thing for others, um, and we're in a better society now where everyone accepts what everyone looks like, or you go into a certain place where everyone is lovely to your face and nice and sweet. You don't, I haven't experienced someone talking bad about think if I was younger and then I went to a phase or a place where someone spoke bad about it, maybe it would make me feel, bad. But now I would beat you, like I would fight, and I don't um think I would lose. So I think I can stand up for myself to kind of be like, yeah, what is funny? Yeah. So I don't think I'll feel less than. I'd rather be empowered to, act out gently though. Like I'm not a barbarian, but I will beat someone in a very calm and polite manner. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else to add to the question? I think our next question will be what our subtopic will be on hair transplants and hair insecurity. So what role does hair play in personal identity and confidence?
I feel like society make it like, oh, the longer your hair, the more beautiful you are. The thicker your hair, the more beautiful you are. So it just depends on the length of your hair that will determine how people treat you. For example, when you're going to work, sometimes wearing your natural hair, it may seem as unprofessional because they have a requirement of how your hair should look like, the same as in school. So they will probably prefer that your hair be straightened or put all back, but not in an afro form. Also, with shorter hair, it may seem like, oh, you're trying to be a boy, or you know what I mean. But some people prefer shorter hair than longer hair. So yeah.
Um, for me, I'm not too sure if I've experienced any situation when it comes to hair. I have seen so many stories online about what SD was saying. I have seen um about certain schools in this country that prefer African girls or Black British to have their hair in short braids, tied back, no edges, no afro. I've also seen different situations where, yeah, African women are made to kind of make their hair look suitable for a certain group of people. But also, I've seen the other side where African men are against women wearing wigs, and African men, or even some people of different races, are against African women wearing wigs and things like that, which makes absolutely no sense
No
to
sense.
me.
Mm.
Because what I think it is that I have natural hair, and it's a lot of work. You don't always have the time to do different hairstyles. There are people that have the time, but those people will tell you it's time consuming. It takes a lot of products, it takes a lot of energy. It's like a gym session. Not everyone has that time every single day to do all of that. So, as best as you can manage your hair, you do it and you go. If it's an afro, you do it. If it is cornrows and um a wig on top, you would do it. I don't understand the conversation about how an African woman should carry her hair, because at the end of the day, our texture is different from other races. Other races can have their hair in a very neat style because they have very straight strands, or they have curly strands. The next minute it looks completely different
With
from how they
different.
styled it. I can do my hair now, and you would see my hair is freshly done, but it looks like I did it 3 months ago, and it's a lot of work. So I
Mm.
don't understand why people, or maybe the society, should have a say about an African woman's hair, and even some African women have a say about other African women's hair, because yes, we use the hair to, make us look more um pleasant, but it's also to save time. If you go
Yeah.
to everybody and you speak about certain things, they will tell you, I'm saving time. I'm trying to put um synthetic hair or human hair or Moravian hair, Peruvian hair on because I'm saving time. I've braided my hair for a month because it saves me time. It's not every day, and your hair sheds. Like, there's a lot of signs when it comes to hair, especially an African woman's hair. So I don't expect those who don't understand to have a say in it. If you're not in the club, don't speak on it. But yeah, hair helps with our beauty. If someone has something like a head adornment or something, feel good. Yeah, it starts from the feeling and then you look good. Whatever someone says should not really matter, but yeah, hair does make people look much more pleasant, much more beautiful. But when it comes to an African woman, we are trying to be as efficient as possible. And so if someone doesn't understand, I don't feel the society should have a say in it unless they're in the club. They shouldn't speak on it. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I'll add on to that hair does play a huge role in confidence. It plays a huge role in making you feel good. So for some people, hair determines like their mood for the day. So for example, some people may have a good day because it's like a good hair day. So their whole day they'll feel happy, they'll feel confident. Whereas on like a bad hair day, their confidence may be less, which can make them feel more self conscious about their appearance.
Mm.
And I think hair also plays a role like in culture. I think some like cultures like they focus on hair, and I think not just that, but I feel like some people use their hair to like present their culture. So and that may bring them confidence. So I think hair does play in their personal identity and confidence. Um, I think our last question will be: how has the pressure to conform to certain beauty standards affected men and women differently? Would you like me
I
to
think,
repeat the question?
Yeah, yes,
yeah.
please.
How has the pressure to conform to certain beauty standards affected men and women differently?
I think that there's been an image um that people have put in their heads, forgetting like human nature or human like natural processes in life or like genes and things like that. There are people that maybe in their family, like maybe for men in their family at a certain age, the men start to balden, and because they're used to, maybe it might be in their 30s, because the people normalize balding in people's 70s, they feel rushed to maybe get some enhancements, get some help, get something done, which is okay. It's good to take care of yourself, to make your beauty or whatever makes you beautiful, whatever makes you confident, whatever makes you feel pleasant and good. It's good to take care of yourself so it lasts as long as it can. But um people assume that everyone must look a certain way, have certain features until a certain age, and that when that thing starts to deteriorate, it means that you are completely lacking. And maybe you're sick, maybe you're this, maybe you're that. Yes, there might be reasons behind it, but in actual fact, um, with social media, we're starting to see that there's stories behind certain changes. There's stories behind things happening to someone a certain way. Um, I came across a story yesterday of a girl who has gotten some so-called disease called Jijai, Jija something 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 Tamos or something. And what happened to her was that she's a very skinny girl, very tiny, and all of a sudden last year, maybe middle of last year, her boobs started to grow, and they grew so big that she has. I'm so sorry for the lack of words, but maybe boobs that you think should be fit for like maybe a very huge person or a grandmother or something. And that's what she's carrying on her chest as a tiny girl. And she didn't even know. People would see this and not think it's a disease, especially when someone has it when they're bigger. But because she's so small, it's so visible. And she said when it started happening, people thought she was pregnant. They couldn't believe what was going on. And it's because we had this assumption that certain people that have these things are the way they are because of genes or because of something. But it happens to people. People get sick and you get certain side effects that they can't explain, that their family has no record of in the past. So, by God's grace, social media is making people's stories heard. People will have certain symptoms that other people in in different sides of the earth can see and sympathize and say, "Oh, really wrong." Like there's some awareness that is coming out of someone's illness or someone's ailment. So yeah, I think that because of certain beauty standards that we assume everyone must have, people look into certain things a certain way, but it shouldn't be so. Like we should see everyone as um human beings. They should love themselves as much as they can. And if they're struggling in a certain area, I think it's always good to, bring about awareness and then seek help. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'll add on to the question that um I don't I don't think like it. Okay, I think partially it has affected men and women differently. So, for example, for men, it might be like their parents in like aspects like maybe like their body, their face. Whereas for men, it may be like their height, their hair, maybe also their face, and yeah, I think it has affected men and women like equally, but not at the same time because there's always a constant reminder that you should look good. So yeah.
Yeah, so what I can say is, as you said, your height, your hair, people are having black ones, people are having white hairs in their hair, and then you realize that someone will just say that you are growing up. It is something that is part of the person. Even in our natural life, you see people going out there to dye their hairs in different colors. Then someone having it naturally, they become offensive when people talk about it. This is something that you have, and the society makes it look as if you are older than who you should be at that particular age. But that is how your genetics, your systems are working, and nobody can change it. No matter how you go in for a dye, the dye wears off, the white comes back again. So I know in this society, even some people also like people with white beard. Naturally, people like it. And nowadays, you see a lot of men keeping their white hairs because first they used to shave it because actually I'm growing too old. And now they realize that even that one is beautiful with the black hair and everything. So I think we have to make sure we accept what we see on people because you don't know what is going on. And sometimes they pick it up from their family members, being it a long family member who is having it or somebody. So once I had a teacher who had this white triangle feature in his hair, and people were like, "Have you dyed it?" And he said, "No, I took it from my great grandfather." And someone even told me that this thing that you have here was on your grandfather, and you're also having it. It's something that has been passed on through the gene. And so you cannot just go there and say, "Oh, you are growing old." Just make sure you apply certain dyes. No, just keep it. And you see nowadays he even cherishes it because it differentiates him among people. People realize that there's something unique about his hair. So whatever that we have, being it bad man. If only you want to enhance it, it's good. You can go out there and do it. But that doesn't define your beauty. Your beauty is what you have at that particular moment. And as time goes on, definitely you're going to change when you grow up. You are going to become weaker and weaker. Sometimes I see the old people and I realize that if God permits me for me to also get, I'm also going to be like them. And I cannot change any situation. That is what it is, because you can take two pictures, compare them, and say, my grandfather or my grandmother was so handsome or beautiful. But time tells what or who you become in the future. So you cannot change it. So you have to accept everybody, embrace what they have, love them upon being it bad person. Even the person has gone in for transplant or something else is because of confidence, self-confidence. And so we just have to leave the society. But people must always cherish.
Cherish what they have. Amen.
Yeah. Mm.
Amen.
So, as I said earlier on, people must cherish whatever that people have. And some people just stand afar to cherish you, but you don't know. Just because they are not telling you doesn't mean that they don't like it. They like it. So, what you see on you, someone may standing from afar just watching, and this is good. This is how God has made everybody, and people just stand from afar, just admire you. But they may never tell you, but they will go and tell people that, Charlie, what I've seen around this boy or this guy or this lady is very, very beautiful. But sometimes they cannot come and tell you, and it might be with them. When they get the chance, they tell you, and then you become happy. Like, oh, so someone also stood afar, watched me, and was happy about what I had. And myself, I am trying to say that this is not nice on me. So we have to accept everything we have. And if it is given to us by nature, well, if it is not by disease and it's from nature, we have to accept it and embrace it, because people also love what they see around you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I want to also add, like, people with vitiligo. um what's good, I know that they go through a lot of insecurities, because I know before it wasn't a norm. People used to think, oh, it can be transferable, but it's just a genetic deformity. But now people are embracing it, because they have seen now models are having vitiligo. Because before, I know that they probably used to cover it with foundation, because they don't want people to say, oh, what is that on your skin, like, you know what I mean. So, just embracing yourself can bring you to a different height of confidence. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Um, does anyone have anything else to add to the question? If
Can you
not, I
repeat
think,
the question?
the same one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have nothing else.
The members of Kingdom Keys Chapel and Brother K. I also like to say thank you to our panelists Rachel, SD, and Emmanuel for their
Bye. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Take a look inside, the mirrors glow. Young hearts seeking truth to know. Mystery within their eyes appears, shining brighter than their deepest fears. Echoes of love past their steps to trace. In this journey they find their grace.
In a world where connections build bridges, unity creates strength. A year to unlock the power of togetherness. Genesis 13, verse 5. And Lot also, who went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. Where there is unity, there is abundance. Where there is connection, there is a blessing. This year, we embrace the call to connect, to align with God's purpose, to uplift one another, to collect the promises He has prepared. 2025 theme of the year. Our year to connect, to collect. Genesis 13, verse 5 reminds us that when we walk together in faith, we walk into God's abundance. This is the year to connect with faith, to connect with purpose, to connect with each other, and collect God's harvest. Join us in 2025 as we connect to collect. Genesis 13, verse 5. Walk in unity, live in abundance. Together, let's make 2025 a year of divine connections. Together, we will thrive. Kingdom Keys Chapel, 2025, our year to connect, to collect.
Are you ready to take your brand, church, or business to the next level? We specialize in stunning graphic and website design tailored to your vision, helping you stand out and connect with your audience. From live stream setups on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, to seamless OBS, vMix, and Wirecast integrations, we've got you covered. Need media management for your church or business? We offer unlimited custom flyers and videos monthly package to keep your message fresh and engaging. Whether it's creating content, managing your media, or building your digital presence, we're your one-stop solution. Our services include graphic design, flyers, banners, business cards, church graphics, invitations, etc. Website design, e-commerce website, display website, church media management with monthly package options. Contact us today on 074-294-33363. Website www.asoramedia.com. Email info@asoramedia.com. Let's make your vision a reality. E-Media, where creativity meets excellence. Together, let's inspire, connect, and grow.